Welcome to Shortys Supercoach and welcome to my press conference this week. And it was my best week in Supercoach. I scored 2,276. It was clearly my best week and by far my best ranking. Ranked in the top 1% there at 1,846. Obviously that very good score brought me up 18,000 spots, so I moved to within the top 40,000 there, which, in the top 20%, so it's a slow grind from how far I was coming back, but the weekend was certainly much closer to what I expect, and well, to be honest, it is what I expect. I mean, that's probably even better than what I had hoped. I mean, to be top 1% was great, but it is what I needed. It was timely as well because I had to get that sort of response to really start closing the gap on some of those other sides. If we take a look at my side now, look, there was players all over the ground that delivered well. Heath Shaw obviously came in and scored a ton for me immediately. Simpson was dominant late. Bartel had another very good game. Birchall ever consistent. Rich was okay, all considering. I saw that match and he didn't play great, but to get 75 in a pretty rough day for the Lions was alright. Darcy Byrne-Jones been an absolute revelation. Scored 100 there, and look, my midfield is probably still a little bit light on. I mean, I was very well helped out by Pendlebury, who, as you can see, the VC is on, but I loopholed him quite nicely to get that 143 into 286. Ablett, Shield, Wines, all sort of slightly off. I mean, Wines played a good game, but didn't use it that great. But you take those scores. Ablett, you don't so take from that. And Libra, I thought, could have even gone even higher. And then you see the three fellas along there, Crouch, Mills, Petrarca. Petrarca was fantastic. The other two not so, but I'll touch on them in a moment. And there you go. There you can see, of course, the loophole in action, and Gawn was outstanding. The highest score on the side for me with 174, and he's got to be a genuine captain option now. He keeps pumping out big scores, and when he goes big, he scores massive tons. So, and Nick Nat, he was influential in that third quarter when the Eagles started to come back, and in a tough day for the Eagles, he scored 100, which was good. And the forward line was really good. I mean, Hall was the best scorer for the Suns, I'm pretty sure. Franklin was great. Martin was back to his best. Wells, many would have had, scored 66. And Kerridge, he's a good role player. I mean, he's in that midfield mix, in that rotation, and he's always capable of an 80-plus score just by the nature of that role. And Papley, was the beneficiary of perhaps a dominant Sydney side and, laid some good tackles, got on the end of a couple as well. So that's my team. That's how it all worked out. I'm pretty happy about it. And it's nice to get a bit of reward because I've sat here and talked about my disappointment and why aren't the guys playing like they did on the weekend. Because, I mean, this side isn't overly different to the round one team. I mean, I know Hall's in there, but I got rid of Barlow for him, who's been pretty decent of late. I mean, of course, Nick Nat has been an inclusion. Heath Shaw's been an inclusion. But aside from that, Simpson as well. I mean, it's not as though I've gone crazy on the upgrade. Even Sam Gray was out, as you can see. Not that he's been scoring well, but, not everything's gone right for me, and I got a pretty handy score there. So I'm very happy about that. But the thing I'm most pleased about, I'm great to see that score on the park, but what's getting me most excited is those bench options. If we just run through them, and the potential for growth. I mean, Adams is probably close to peaked, but at 350,000, there's a lot you can do with that. I mean, that's fantastic. Mitch Brown, unbelievable. I can't believe his last couple of weeks. I think he's gone about 88, 96, and he will just rock it up. When once upon a time, I thought we're just going to get 50s and 40s from him, and we'll struggle to make 120,000 out of him. Well, he's just gone huge, and he'll surpass 300,000 by a mile. Sam Gray, he's obviously on the chopping block. I think he's probably going to be traded out soon if he's not named. I mean, he'll be one I'm more patient with because being a more senior player, he's always got more potential for growth and scoring ability, but these other guys are doing a fantastic job. I mean, Darcy Byrne-Jones, of course, in the back line, I forgot to mention him. I know he's not on the bench, but he's going to be huge. He'll drop off eventually, but he'll be one of the last I have to worry about. And by the time I do, he'll be around 400,000, which makes upgrading so easy. George Hewitt, I know he's only producing 50s and stuff, but, you know, he should rise up to around 270, 280, all going well. Josh Smith, you know, only scored the 49 points there, but went up a solid 70,000, and he should go up a fair bit. I mean, obviously, how much more will be dependent on his future scores, but he'll work a bit off that 96. Petrarca, fantastic, looked great. Mills, it's about time he's peaked. I think he only went up $200, but he's about to go, but he's been very good. Corey Ellis, I was patient with him, a couple of 30s, and I thought, gee, this isn't good, but he has paid off, and now he'll scream past 300,000 with a very low break even. Papley has been outstanding, also had to have patience with him, and he has rewarded me with that. Carriage will be one of the last ones I have to worry about, because he's been fantastic, as I mentioned before, and at 370,000 he won't be the first one I worry about, but he'll be very easily to offload as well, because he's just making some serious coin. And Jaden Hunt, I thought I may have wasted a trade there. I harp on how important those mid-season downgrades are, and I thought I may have got one wrong there, but after he scored the 20 last week or whatever it was, but he's gone bang with 102, which is fantastic. I'll have to be patient for his price rise over the next couple of weeks, but once that gets rolling, he should creep up and beyond 250,000, no doubt, and really work off that 100 price-wise quite easily. So, fantastic. I mean, I think the main positives for my side were much more contributors in the top end, some big scorers with Gawn and Pendlebury, some more contributors with not just hundreds but 110 plus players, and also my poorer players were probably Mills and Wells, and they're two of your more popular picks in the whole competition. So of all my players playing, probably Crouch was the only guy I was disappointed with his output, I suppose. Everyone else, you know, you take it. They're not maybe their best performances of all time, like an Ablett or Shield could do better, or, you know, things like that. Daniel Rich could do better, but it doesn't kill your score. So Crouch, you know, disappointing, but that's about the only complaint I have from the weekend. So, as I mentioned, those bench rookies and what they can make in money terms, that is a stem to how your team can grow. I mean, that's where it's all going to come from. So that's why I'm so excited about it. There's a few premiums falling, and, you know, a few guys we can really start rolling into our sides, which is fantastic, coupled with this fact that a lot of our cash cows are really starting to beef up at the exact right time. So that's my side. I'll move on to the league, and I managed to get another win there in the SuperCoach HQ league, which I was really proud about. Beat Woosha there. I got him by about 115 points or something like that from memory, so came through nicely. I mean, I won all my leagues, of course, as you'd expect, with a top 1% score, so it was nice to get on the winners list. But all of a sudden I'm back in the fray as well. I move up to 9th, given I had that draw. As you can see, I mean, my percentage isn't great, but given I have the draw, it's not really going to matter unless I have to take over Josh there, who's got quite a nice percentage at 102.4, but he's the one game clear of me. So yeah, moving up to 9th, it came out of nowhere really, and perhaps a little bit fortunate, because I'm still towards the bottom in terms of total points scored. While it is quite competitive through that, I am towards the bottom, so to be 9th is quite fortunate, and I'll definitely take it. So I'm within reach of that top 8, and I think my team's only getting better. So to be not gone and down and out by this stage after I've had, as you guys know, a poor start to the year, I'm pretty buoyed about that, I must say. Next week I have Josh, good mate Josh, he's a good fella. Never met him personally, but he's kicked this channel off, or not channel, he's kicked the website off. He's the man behind the scenes, and his side's been going not too bad. He is overseas at the moment, doing, I think, with the IPL, which is really exciting for him. So I'm not sure how much he'll be looking at his SuperCoach, but he's still scoring relatively well, and I'll look forward to a good contest with him. And yeah, definitely he's done some good work over time with the website as well. And worth noting that this league too is ranked 169 out of 25,000 leagues there, so that's fantastic. I mean, when you want to go for some advice, I know some other pages are going pretty nicely as well on websites, but equally we are as well. Some solid advice there. We've got some great scorers, and we're ranked right up there as far as leagues go, so that's certainly good. But definitely some scope for improvement from a league sense, and plenty of scope for improvement from a team sense. I mean, my side couldn't have gone too much better, really. With all things considering, there's always room for improvement in areas you think that you probably could have got more points, but also you look where, you know, potentially could lose points with a rookie scoring well, etc., you know, 170s and whatnot. So I sit here a pretty happy man and pretty optimistic about where things can go from here, because as I stress time after time, it's all about the money you can make and the generation of the money and the cash you can get flowing on that bench, and therefore onto the field, and you can get premiums in. There's a long list of guys that are falling. Rockcliffe, of course, it's risky now, but he may be too cheap to resist once he does return. Robbie Gray likewise, Matty Prittis likewise, Jared McVeigh, Basher Hooley, Lee Montagna, Brett Deledio has got a break even of 209. If you haven't got Goldstein yet, well, he's certainly starting to become well within reach. So there's a lot of guys there. Even Michael Barlow, I never thought I'd say we'd be looking to upgrade to him, but he has been inconsistent, but he is showing that he's probably still a top 8 forward, and probably one we could still consider, and off the back of that 67 he might be within reach. Luke Parker scored an 89. I know he didn't go down. I think he went up still off the back of the couple of weeks back score, but definitely he's a player with that 89. If he just has a couple of, you know, even sort of hundreds, he could drop to around, you know, 570 and just be, you know, not at his peak, which is probably all we can ask. So that's a wrap up from me. Let me know how you went on the weekend and any thoughts you have regarding my side as well. I look forward to producing a video later in the week. Of course, the weekend preview is one where we cover everything in SuperCoach, everything you need to know, everything you want to look for in regards to trade options, captains, and just the take-home message for the weekend, what you want to be focusing on for your side to get it all right and get it all happening in those pieces of the puzzle that we want to form come year's end. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Stay tuned for the video, which will probably be Thursday night, I would say. I'll hopefully look to get it through then. Thanks for listening in. Subscribe to the channel as always, and I'll chat to you guys all soon.